Hi everyone, Mohit is the CTO and co-founder at InMobi and Glance Group and is one of the visionary technical leaders in India, very well known across the startup ecosystem for his technical brilliance and leadership. But we are also going to see another side of Mohit's personality today, which is his caring nature and which is his empathetic leadership style.
Thank you, Amit, for the generous introduction and making me part of this Google Hackathon. I think it's a great cause. And there is one problem, I think, which I always had in my mind, and I didn't have the clarity what to do about it. This basically is inspired by my own personal story. So my mom was a cancer survivor. Basically, she was diagnosed when she had stage 4 cancer, and most of the doctor basically gave her 6 months to live, and that was quite challenging at that point of time. Her success story was basically the quick diagnosis. Today in India, oncologists are overburdened. They are seeing almost 1,000 patients a day. And pretty much you have 1 minute where they have to basically see a patient, have a diagnosis, and send them for some treatment. And this is where I think, the technology, especially the AI, Gen AI part can really play a big role. And I'm really keen to see what we can do. And as I told you earlier, the cancer detection depends on basically these images. People have these CT scan and PT scan. And imagine if I can run these models, if I can use Gen AI to look at those images and create a probability chart for the doctor. The doctors, they only have a minute, And when the patient comes, this model can scan all their pictures and create all kind of information for doctor to basically put together and make a call. Most of the people, they live in tier 2, tier 3 cities where they don't have cancer care. They travel to these big cities where they go and see a doctor. Should they wait while they reach into those tier 1, tier 2 city, or they can actually get the scan done in their own city, have an app, upload those images. Once again, the model can detect their images. It can run a basically whole intel on top of it. And that information can be shared with the doctor in advance, and the doctor can look at it and can tell them, hey, when do they need to visit? Do they need to come sooner, or they can come later? So this is also can basically extended into self analysis and detection before you actually go and see an oncologist. So I'm quite optimistic about this problem, and I can't wait to see what great engineers in India can do if they have this technology in their hand, and what kind of tool they can create for these patients and for doctor to basically solve one of the biggest problems that we are facing as mankind.
And as they say in our world in AI, the most important foundation for AI and generative AI is data.
Yeah, I think data is the key, as you rightly said, and I guess one of the biggest thing basically, especially for this kind of problem and detection, is the image. And whether you are having a CT scan, you are having some sort of X-ray or some sort of PT scan, whatever you have, these are big images. Sometimes they are quite dense, and there are multiple cuts to it. We can start with a pre-diagnosis image where working very closely with oncologists or pathologists who have gone through those images, and they have already provided their reading of those charts. That basically can be utilized to create the initial training set. And once that is done, then anyone can take these images, which are mostly today in digital format. Either you get CDs or they can be uploaded to the cloud as well. The medical records are not digitalized in most places. People still carry films, and people still carry those CDs and all that. So I think that is something that also needs to be figured out, how you do that. We don't have enough privacy laws. If you go to US and Western world, there are HIPAA and all those things. So data is quite protected, and this can be done in a very controlled manner. Here we don't know, those regulations are not there. So there are a lot of unknowns over there. This technology that I'm talking about is not, and in no way, shape and format is competing what is out there. It is actually additional tool for our oncologists, our doctors, our radiologists, pathologists, to basically give them another set of data so that their calls are more informed and they are more accurate than not.
I know that some of the solutions that will come out will be innovative, but how do you see those solutions grow over a period of time and evolve and become integrated into the medical systems?
The way I see this diagnosis, and especially when you are so overwhelmed with number of patients, one of the most important responsibility the ER doctor has is basically he has to see a patient very quickly. And within 1 or 2 minutes, he has to look at some data, some vital signs, where they put into these machines and all, BP and everything they're checking. And he has to make a very important call that which one needs to be treated immediately and what kind of patient can actually wait. Look, hospital today, and especially when I talk about developing world, I don't think they are that tech savvy. They don't have the technology. They don't have the know-how. This is real science. We are talking about Gen AI, which is so new that people are still learning to it. Some of the very few company, like us, basically, who are working with provider like Google and, having access to these advanced model and making them work for certain use cases. So a company like Google or people like us have to basically do some heavy lifting over here. We have to provide them initial infrastructure. So like any new technology, it comes with its own challenges. It comes with its own problem like cost, very technical. Who is going to do it? How long we can sustain it? We can't just do the imaging for 3-4 months and then disappear. We lose the focus, or we lose energy, or we lose commitment. So I think it would require a very huge amount of commitment from companies like Google to basically put everything together. Some startup and some engineers like us to come together and say, no, this is the problem that we have to solve, and this has to be beyond anything we do in rest of our life, business or make a living or something. This is for the greater good, and we have to be at it. We have to be at it, and even take this program to even faculties and colleges where, hey, can you donate some of your student, and basically can you sustain the effort over time where we don't drop it? Because the bigger challenge, and the one thing that I always worry, is that we can come up with some solution on this hackathon which could be adopted by 2 or 3 hospitals as well, but what will happen to those efforts 6 months down the line? That they will go to a dustbin like any other thing, or they can actually become something big and a vital part of their diagnosis. So I think together we have to figure this out. But still, I think the benefits are huge for me to not drop it and continue.